Hi, Lee Farnell here, and thanks for listening to Leading Your Best Life. You know, I'm sitting here looking at some notes that I just want to share with you. I'm reflecting on notes. As they say, the shortest pencil is better than the longest memory, and there's so many great points here I want to share with you and refresh with you. If we're talking about leading our best life, spend the next 4 or 5 minutes with me, and let's just reflect on some very interesting points coming out of our Total Reset interview of a couple of weeks ago with Greg Campbell. These notes are just jumping off the page at me. I want to share them with you. Thanks for listening to this one. There's so much here on the page that's jumping out at me. Remember a couple of weeks ago, I did an interview with my old mate Greg Campbell on his 700-page unbelievable book called Total Reset, The Blueprint for Holistic Living. And straight away in the title, the whole concept of holistic living, not just living for money or living for health or living to eat green vegetables, holistic living. His book, he spent 31 years with elders up in the Kimberley, Aboriginal people in the Kimberley of Western Australia, and what he learnt sitting, sometimes just sitting and saying nothing with them. As you saw, he had spent time with Lulu, an Aboriginal elder that he met when Lulu was 79, and Lulu's father, Bulu, had actually been up there in the Kimberley before white settlement, hadn't even seen a white person. So he knew what life was like in terms of traditional living, and that was certainly passed down to Lulu. And as plenty of people have asked me about the walk, which I'll put in there, the walk that Lulu says, come walking with us. In fact, that's one of the key messages. Let's walk together, which, by the way, is exactly what the Uluru Statement from the Heart is asking. Let's walk together. In walking together, we get to know each other. We get to talk. We get to share country, which again, the Aboriginals, such a relationship with country, that country, the environment, is a living, breathing member of the family. It's a relative. It's something that's alive. Not just the grass is alive, the trees are alive, the water, the fish, the kangaroos. Everything's alive. Everything has a story. Everything has a past, a present, and a future. And of course, the Aboriginals don't say we're landowners. They say we're custodians. There's a difference between being an owner and a custodian. A custodian, of course, has a responsibility to pass that land on to the next generation and the generation and the generation after that. I just look at, the word sacred came up. Holding the land as sacred, holding our relationships as sacred, holding our dance as sacred, holding our conversation as sacred. That each part of our life is not just another moment, it's not just another day, it's not just another conversation, it's not just another meal, it's sacred. This will not come again, this moment. I'm just looking, the eyes of the rainbow serpent. Greg talks about the eyes of the rainbow serpent. The rainbow serpent seeing past, present, future, global, the universe, going out into space, not just through your eyes, which again comes back to the nature of reality. What is your reality? You know, if I talk to Donald Trump, his reality is going to be completely different than, it goes on and on. Who everybody's reality is different. The question is, which reality is going to serve you, serve your family, and serve your future best? You know, there are people who have a reality that says the world is completely stuffed, relationships are stuffed, that in fact, through Trump's eyes, we know he sees business as war, that, you can't trust anyone, that through his eyes, he's the best in the world, he's the smartest, he's the best president ever, the economy was never better than under him. That's his reality. Yet if you look at statistics and facts, the facts often don't support his reality almost every time. But I'm not using him as a role model. I suppose I am, in the sense of I don't hold that as being a hugely admirable set of qualities, although I have friends who actually do think he's a businessman and he just talks salesman's talk and that's okay. Different realities. The question is, what reality actually is going to help us as individuals and as a society still be around in 65,000 years from now? Because the line, as Greg says in his book, if you extrapolate the line of the last 200 years and the last 100 years in particular, that line is not good. It's not a sustainable line, as in life will not be sustainable if we keep doing what we're doing to the environment and to each other. The word lian, the power in the belly, the channel from which you connect to all other living creatures, to other human beings. How open is that channel? And as Greg said, the First Nations people believe, babies in particular and old people, the channel is open because, one, they've just started their life, or two, they know at the end of their life all these things that we judged about and mistrusted about are really just figments of imagination. As Oscar Wilde said, most of the things I imagined were going to go wrong were always just imaginations. Another note I've got here is one mob, the whole concept of clan and mob and belonging to a mob and belonging to a clan and caring together and certainly walking together. The whole concept of individual and wholeness, that we're actually all one. There's no individual. You're actually interconnected to family, to friends, to sporting club, to business, but also to the environment, which is why they say just go and sit. Walk in the environment, whether it be down the beach, in the bush, in the park. And not only that, and today was World Mental Health Day, where somebody said, go and sit in nature. Go and sit under a tree. Close your eyes and breathe. Breathe and hear the sounds of nature. Open up your lian. Open up that channel within yourself to love and appreciate nature. To get out of yourself, to realize it's not all about you. It's actually you connected to the universe, the world, nature around you. Wholeness, the holistic blueprint for living. Greg also talked about the other window of reality. Not just what you see, not just what you hear, the physical world, the Newtonian physics world, for equal and opposite reaction and what we see, knowing the electromagnetic spectrum has a huge chunk that is not visible. There's a whole lot that's going on in terms of vibration and energy that you cannot see. Just because you cannot see it or even can't measure it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Be willing to appreciate and look at your world through the other window of the love vibration, the other window of the stillness, the power of stillness, the sacredness of stillness, the sacredness of being calm, the sacredness of nature. Because as Greg says, First Nations people say, it's a living country. It's a living country. And as you said, country can smell you. Country can smell you. Are you one of us, country says, which is why one of the reasons to do the smoking ceremony. So country senses you and says, I'll look after you, versus it's not one of us. Interesting. Country being a living, breathing, sensitive, living entity. Sacredness, individual and whole, that we're all one, the sense of one, whether you're a sporting team, a family, whether you're a community, and of course we get to humanity, we're all one. John Lennon's song, imagine all the people, no religions, no borders. The fact is, these are all artificial in the sense that they're man-made. We're all one. We all have hearts, lungs, we all love our children. Remember Sting's song, I hope the Russians love their children too, which again comes back to the Uluru statement, we are not an inherently criminal, we're not an inherently criminal race. We love our children. We don't want our children to be taken away from us. The torment of our powerlessness. Law-keepers. Who are the law-keepers in your family? Who are the law-keepers in your company? Who are the law-keepers of these are the laws? These are the eternal laws. This is the way life works. This is the way our life works. This is the way we want to work together. You need law-keepers. And so it goes on. These are just some of the notes. Bulu to Lulu to Greg, through me to you. Check out Greg's great book, Total Reset. It really is fantastic. And take a look through the eyes of the First Nations people of Australia, the sacredness, the oneness, the sustainability of 65,000 years, what you can learn, and also develop your connection with country, develop your connection with nature. And if you do get the opportunity to walk together, go take the walk. Go take the walk. So this is the walk, the Lura Jari Heritage Trail. It's there, Gulabaloo.org. Check it out, Walking the Country. The spirit begins of Bagarage, the Dreamtime, created all life as we know it. This enabled spirits to take form and gave us the law. This way everything could function in harmony. The law of how things could function in harmony. The law encoded in the song cycle has been passed down unbroken since creation. It is our record of history. It is the law keepers, law people, and the custodian's job to keep passing Bugaraga. I've got to get, how do I say that? That's just that's a white man trying to help out here. Boy, oh boy, I've got to learn this because it really is about passing down this Bugarigara. Greg talks about it in the interview. It's so central, the oneness, the Bugarigara ceremonies and stories from one generation to the next. Hey guys, let's walk the Lurujara Dreaming Trail together. Sacred smell of country. Fantastic. Look forward to helping you lead your best life. What we can learn from First Nations people and Greg Campbell. These are the notes. Leanne, I hope my power from the belly has got to you through the channel today. Thanks for listening. I'm Lee Farnell and I'm helping you lead your best life.